Namaste, namaste, and welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. Today we are making a very popular winter time or any time of the year recipe, especially in the winter time when the weather gets cold. This is just going to use some basic staples like basmati rice, whole spices, and some herbs called fenugreek herbs. I will use a combination of frozen fresh and I will use some dry fenugreek. So let's get this process started. So first off, I have taken 2 cups of basmati rice, good quality basmati rice, and I have washed it thoroughly by rubbing the grains in my hands about 6 times till the water runs clear. Then I have soaked this rice for about 30 minutes and set aside. In a pan, heat some oil and add some cumin seeds. Also add 2 bay leaves and add some cloves and a little piece of cinnamon. I've added lots of grated garlic, about 5 to 6 cloves, and I'm going to saute that till it's aromatic. I'm also using 1 teaspoon of ginger garlic paste. You can also grate it separately and add it to your pan and saute till aromatic on medium to high heat. Once you start seeing that being aromatic, you can go ahead and add, this is 1 small onion, thinly sliced, and I'm using a white onion. You can use any onion of your choice. Add that to the pan and saute it for a few minutes. We are not trying to caramelize the onions. We are just trying to get them nice and translucent. Also in this recipe, I'm using the herb called fenugreek, which is actually a leafy green that grows. It has a little bit of a bitter bite to it. I'm using a frozen version just so that I can avoid the dirt and the grime particles that do float around in the fresh ones. I'm also going to be using a store-bought dry fenugreek powder or dry fenugreek herb to give it a nice deep aroma. I'm going to continue to saute this with that much oil that we had in the pan. If you feel like it's sticking to the bottom, by all means add a couple of tablespoons of water and keep sauteing it. Now add 1 whole tomato. This is fresh tomato that you need to add, and immediately add enough salt that will help the tomato to break down easily. Add 1 tablespoon of tomato puree and all your dry spices. In goes the turmeric, about half a teaspoon of turmeric, 2 teaspoons of coriander seed powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. Continue to saute this, and if you feel like it's too dry or it's sticking to the bottom of the pan, you can always add a couple of tablespoons of water, but keep it moving, y'all. After a few minutes, this is what it should look like. You can see my rice is still soaking in the back. Now, the trick to making a great pulao is to use the rice and water in the right proportion. So whatever cup you have taken to measure the rice, just use 2 times of that of water. So 1 cup rice, 2 cups water, 2 cups rice, 4 cups water. In this case, I've used 4 cups of water because I'm making 2 cups of pulao. Now I have to go and add the salt. Whenever you're cooking rice, please remember to taste the saltiness of the water. And the water should actually taste like tears. We all know what that tastes like. So yes, take a minute and test the water. It should be as salty as tears. Remember, we are adding salt to be enough for the cooked rice, not as per the water. You will see the water is going to start bubbling and boiling and simmering away. Do not add the rice till the water actually comes to a boil. Once you see the rice boiling nicely, add a half a lemon into the rice. The juice from the lemon helps the rice grains to stay intact. You see the water is slowly evaporating. My heat is on medium to high. And the water will slowly evaporate from the surface of the rice, leaving the rice to be semi-cooked with a few wells or holes on top of the surface, and that's how you know that all of the moisture practically has evaporated from the rice. You can go ahead and drizzle some oil on the edges of your pan, or you can dot it with some butter. And now is the time to cover the pan. If you're using just a simple cover with a hole, make sure you plug the hole with a piece of aluminum foil. I like to cover my rice with a tea towel and then put the cover. But please remember that the edges of your towel should not be drooping over, since your flame is still on and you don't want the tea towel to catch fire. Be very careful with this step. Now, turn the heat all the way down and then allow it to sit in this heat, in this residual moisture, in this trapped